Hey everyone, it's me, I'm a Game Nerd here. Before I get into this review, or whatever you will call this, because this is something far different than I think everyone else does. This is just something in the Beelzebub, Naruto chapter, and One Piece chapters this week, into more so one video of me giving my thoughts on all three chapters. Now, this will be a little different from everything else I think everyone else does. I'm actually, as you will see throughout the video, I'll have pics of the chapter. And I hope to God this fucking doesn't give me a copyright strike, because this has been something I've been considering doing for a while when it came to doing seasonal anime stuff. And I hope to God, I hope to fucking God this doesn't give me a copyright strike. It better fucking not. But yeah, anyways, enjoy the video. And now, now it's time to watch the intro. Shouldn't the intro be the first thing you see in the video? But fuck it, I'm playing it right here anyways. Fuck it, here's the intro, people. This fucking Beelzebub chapter. That's right. I consider Beelzebub chapter 271, what the fuck did I just say? 217 to be the best chapter this week. Yeah, I said it, people. In my opinion, it is the best, and for some big reasons. Now, this entire chapter pretty much focused on Himikawa and the shit that Himikawa pulled. Now, alright, here are my top 3 Beelzebub characters: Fuichi, Tojo, and I can't freaking pronounce her name, is Queen, the leader of the Red Tails. Well, I guess she was a leader in the beginning of the series of Red Tails, then quit. I'm actually confused now if she's still the leader of them. But yeah, those are my top 3 characters. But after this, Himikawa might take one of their spots, which I don't even know the position of those 3 characters. I honestly don't which ranking I would order them, but god damn it, this fucking chapter. This was an awesome chapter. Now, unlike a lot of people, I am not surprised that Himikawa turned out to be working with them. Now, to be a good guy, had the King's Crest all along. Well, this was something I saw at least coming, the fact that he wasn't a total bad guy. And it's because now, alright, what I'm showing you right now is Beelzebub chapter 233, where basically, in this part, Himikawa is telling Olga that after Olga interrupted their meeting, Himikawa is just telling Olga, hey, I'm just working with these guys to get intel on them, so get out. Now, some would say, now, if you were surprised by this, you're two things. You either forgot about this moment, or probably believe that this was even a moment where I even thought this. I even was in the ladder on this. I forgot about, but when I first saw it, I was thinking, he's probably just telling Olga that to get out. But the part of me is not shocked that Himikawa, it turned out to be a double agent all this time. Now, what happened at the end of the chapter, that big-ass cell bub coming out and erupting the entire city, that was a big moment. And I love how Himikawa just broke like that generator that's containing all that power, and he's like, you just threw away like a few $1 million, and Himikawa's like, bitch, that's pocket change. That was a freaking awesome moment. Do not deny that moment. That was an awesome moment. This chapter was a badass chapter, hands down, hands fucking down, the best chapter I read all week. This is why you're seeing it first, because the way I'm going to be doing this is the best as I say it before, the best chapter will be the first one, and the worst chapter will be the last one you see me review when it comes down to this. And yeah, off to the next chapter. I guess Dome Flamingo is coming close to breaking the law. I am sorry for making that lame ass joke, and I promise I will make it again someday because I totally love you people. Now onto the One Piece chapter 718 review. Now before I get into this, you're probably wondering why the hell is my room darker than it was when I recorded the Beelzebub chapter review. And the answer is fairly simple in that last clip you just saw right there. That's because I recorded that a few hours ago, and I ate dinner, took a break, and decided to see what I would do with this review. Now I have this. Now this may sound like more of a theory. This might take up more of actually this theory I got than the actual reviewing the chapter. But hear me out. This is an interesting theory I developed. It's gonna be interesting. Now, this may take up most of the time in this chapter review, as I stated, because I feel like what this small line of dialogue could be is a major impact for the future. Now, but before I get into that I feel as though I should give my thoughts on this chapter. Now, overall, this chapter felt a bit messy at times. Like, we jumped around a bit too much. We started off with what Robin and Usopp are doing. Then we jumped to Frankie and that toy soldier. And then we see Zoro upset the fact that he didn't get signed up for the tournament. And then we jump to the battle that Nami, Robin, and Chopper are in. Oh no, wait, not Chopper. He wasn't there. What am I saying? Momosuke and Brooke. We see them over there, and then we go to the Law and Dome Flamingo fight. Then we end off with the chapter back to Luffy's fight. The chapter jumped around a bit too much, and I don't really like that when it comes to One Piece chapters. I honestly don't. It gets annoying when they jump around too much. It can be pretty bad at times. And now onto my theory. Okay, then. It was stated in this chapter that the dwarves, the Totora clan, the Totora tribe, or whatever the fuck you call them, had conflict between the Don Quixote clan. Well, Don Quixote's family. I don't know why I call them clan, but fuck it. He says the conflict between the Totoran tribe and the Don Quixote family isn't merely a decade old. It started about 900 years ago. And this arc, later on, we're getting some major bombshells coming. We are. This is going to be big. Now, as you see here, this started about 900 years ago. I have a feeling, I honestly forgot, was the 4th century around 900 years ago? Can someone correct me that there? I'm not entirely sure. Now the thing is that there's the Gorosei, the guys who were pretty much in charge of the world government. Now, back I believe it was chapter. I had the chapter up an hour ago. Must have closed it. It was chapter 694. Now in 694, this page I'm about to show you, I'll explain. This is a bit. How should I go about to explain this? Now, basically, alright, in this page you see here right now, you see Don Flamingo taking off, and this old man's like, he's going off on his own again. Now, the reason why I bring up the Gorosei is the fact that I think this old man might be one of the Gorosei. And the picture, I think he might be that bald one, the picture I'm showing right next to him. I have a feeling he's that Gorosei. I just have that feeling he might be it. That's my best guess. He's a member of the that's the bald member of the Gorosei. And he could be like Don Flamingo's dad or grandpa. He's definitely a member of the Don Quixote family. That old man, I have a feeling, maybe even is the head of it, and Don Flamingo isn't. I have a feeling that man is one of the members of the Gorosei. Calling it now, that guy is a member of the Gorosei, and he's that bald dude. Now, he looks like he could be as rough as him when it comes to their age, but keep in mind, and it looks like he has a beard while the bald Gorosei guy doesn't. But it's been 2 years since we first saw the Gorosei, and he could have grown a beard by then. Now, I'm not saying all bald people look the same, but this is an interesting theory nonetheless. It's definitely interesting. It's actually what made the chapter for me. I'll say that. Now, I could go a little more in depth in this, but I'm not going to. I might actually at some point make another video explain this whole connection between like the Gorosei, the Don Quixote family, the 4th century, the dwarves. I have a bit of a theory I'm developing. I want to work it out a bit before I go more in depth into it, because I do have a few other things I like to talk about, but I think that's best saved for another video. Now, back to review itself. This chapter was good, but I didn't like how much we were jumping around. We just didn't stay focused on one thing. There's always been my problem with One Piece, is that I don't really like all this pacing that much, and it does get annoying how much he jumps around at times, and it sometimes does make it feel like a mess. But this was a good chapter. I love mainly that line of dialogue really did make the chapter for me. I also love how we see Chopper and Nami actually struggling a bit in their battle, because I'm glad, because the reason why is the fact that up to this point they've been a little too strong, and now feels like they're actually fighting against people who are on equal terms as them. And even then, even though Law's one of my favorite One Piece characters, this dude, at least he's losing to Don Flamingo and Fujitora. He's not completely OP like what he did to I'm forgetting his name. It was like that one Vice Admiral that he cut in half, and they had that mountain chopped in half. That guy, I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, overall this was a good chapter of One Piece. And now on to the Naruto review. This Naruto chapter, it was primarily set up, but alright, the reason why I didn't review when it came out, two reasons. Number one, it came out of nowhere. Reason number two, I didn't care for it. I honestly don't really care much for setup chapters. And it's like, this was what essentially a setup chapter was. The only, I would say, significant thing we found out is, like, one thing else is that, alright, this is on October 9th, the day before Naruto's birthday, the anniversary of Rin's death, and the anniversary of Kushina's death. That all feels like one big fucking coincidence after another. But yeah, it does feel fitting that this, I guess, like, October 10th being the last day of the series, like, okay, this probably won't be a long review, I know, because in my opinion, there really wasn't a lot to be talked about in this chapter. But first, before I got mentioned this, before I go into this prediction I got, the yin half of the Nine Tails, it actually seems to me it's nicer than Naruto's half, and isn't that supposed to be like the evil half? I'm like, shit, this is just wow. It actually seems nice. Maybe it's like they're in sync with each other, and the fact when the Nine Tails had a change of heart, so did the other half. That could be it. Like, their heart, their feelings, their souls are all in sync. Both of them are in sync with each other. So that could be that could be the reason, I'm betting. And yeah, this, to me, nothing much happened in this chapter. That's why I didn't bother reviewing in the first place. Now on to this prediction I got. I am calling it now. I am calling it. Not just Naruto's ending, but the last page and the last panel. It will end with a double page that looks like this. That's right, people. I expect something like this to be something like the last panel of Naruto, except here's the thing. thing. Maybe something like that, or Naruto like sticking his head out and we see like the 4 Kage faces like him on top of the Hokage building after he just became Hokage. That I expect to happen, believe me. And here's another thing I'll expect. I don't expect Naruhina, Narusaku, or Narusas to be a thing. That's right, I'm not expecting the pairings of Naruto and Hinata, Naruto and Sakura, or Naruto and Sasuke to all happen. Because to me, this is the kind of stuff Kishimoto will do. And now now I have just pissed off all the shippers of Naruto? Yep, I probably just did when I pulled that stunt. But let's face it, it's Kishimoto. He will probably end it off like that. In fact, I kind of find funny when they were talking about the day. I said, looked up, when does October 9th land this year? Oh, Wednesday. Now I know the fact that in Japan, they actually come, the magazine that has these chapters come out the following Monday. We actually get them a few days early because they're leaked online. But I kind of find it would be funny if the chapters came out, if the final chapter of Naruto came out on October 9th that year, since that does happen to land on Wednesday. To me, for some reason, I kind of would find out pretty ironic, but chances are it's not going to happen. But yeah, anyways, this chapter of Naruto I didn't care for it. It was the weakest chapter this week. It was. It definitely was. Sorry if the Naruto review seemed a little rushed. It's just I was not interested in reviewing it. But yeah, anyways, will you guys tell me what you think of this in the comment section? Like, should I do something like this more often to mix things up a bit? I'm considering doing this with seasonal anime. Maybe. Like, yeah, please tell me on how this was in the comment section. I would call this like weekly manga roundup on like the manga I'll have in it, and maybe even do some more manga, add to that in it, like Nisekoi and maybe a few others. But yeah, this is overall a new idea I got. This I do since I really didn't make any videos all week. But yeah, anyways, I'm Anime Game Nerd signing out. Peace.